What's going on? What's going on? We back. Teofimo Lopez gets himself some dollars. You know what I mean? People, were wondering why exactly he was asking for more money. They were asking if he really wanted to fight. People were asking if, he was trying to find a way out the fight, if he was getting cold feet. But I guess pretty much at the end of the day, a couple $100,000 got the job done. He got 300 extra grand. Instead of making 1.2, he's making 1.5, and he's happy. You know what I mean? If this is what happened and Lomachenko did take money out of his purse, it's awesome. It's great. One of the things I said it also might be is just them trying to promote the fight. Bring eyes to the fight, and that basically what it was. If it was that, cool. Doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, as long as we're getting the fight. So it's on, I believe it's supposed to be on October the 17th. That's what everybody's saying. Usually at this point, everything is pretty much, it is what it is. There's enough people, out there saying it's going to happen on October 17th, where I'm going to say, all right, cool. It's going to be happening. And we'll see what the results of the fight is. Pretty much when it comes to the fights, this is probably the third fight I'm most interested in seeing. Definitely Rosario versus Charlo. That's number one. Earl Spence versus Danny Garcia, because we have no idea what Spence is, what he is. He can jog all he wants and smile all he wants and be on weight all he wants. We don't know what mentally where he's at. We're not going to know where physically he's at until he gets punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? Until he's under, those lights. Then we're going to be able to see where he's at. So we don't know. And this is the third one. You know what I mean? It's a unification bout. 3 belts on the line. It's not for undisputed, regardless of what they say. Franchise belt is not a belt. It's a designation. And when you go up or you go down in weight, you keep that designation. And the only way, and you can't, quote, win. You can't win the belt from that particular person. You can't win it from him. So I guess what the WBC has said is that, if Teofimo wins that particular bout, that they will give him that designation as well. But it doesn't matter. That's not undisputed. You know what I'm saying? It's not undisputed. It's not a belt. In order for either one of these guys to become undisputed, they would have to face Devin Haney. For that WBC belt to become undisputed. But it's like having franchise, like having a Weicho belt. It's like having that belt that Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez fought for. It's like having something like that. It ain't no damn belt. Okay, so it's not for undisputed, but there are 3 belts on the line, and it is a great fight. It is a compelling fight. It's a fight where it could be a 50-50 fight. We don't know. We've seen Lomachenko we've seen Teofimo have mental lapses before in one of his fights, but then he came back and against Comey and did his thing, got the knockout, got the belt, IBF champion in a spectacular fashion. Is he gonna be able to do the same? Keep him, mentally where he needs to be. Where's his weight? Is his weight on point? We have Benavidez who just missed weight. So is his weight on point? He's been doing everything that he can to make sure he's on point when he's at. He's a big kid. After this fight, he's supposed to be jumping up to 140 pounds. It's supposed to be basically his last fight at 135. So where he's at when it comes to that, especially with this long layoff and extension. Lomachenko, pretty much with him is like, is he going to be able to be the same Loma? Last couple of fights, he's been getting hit a lot. Face all lumped up. Bruises all over his face. You can't get hit with clean shots by this kid. You get hit by, clean by a lot of, shots by this kid. If this kid's able to be durable during this fight, Lomachenko could have a whole bunch of problems. You know what I mean? This is a type of fight where it could be Lomachenko winning in 12 rounds. This could be a fight where Teofimo ends it in the first round. It's just one of those weird fights like that. Where the right punch could end everything. If Teofimo's, hasn't been on point with his weight and he has to have this crazy weight camp, we all know what that does to the brain. Somebody just blows on you and you're asleep. So there's a lot of different variables that we don't know when it comes to this fight. But I like that about this fight. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm going to be hyped up about this fight. This is the only fight that Top Rank's going to have this year that I'm going to be hyped up about. The only other fight that that might be on that level, which kind of a joint thing, would be if Wilder fights against Tyson Fury in December. They're saying they're looking at. If that fight happens, cool. But besides that, this is really the only, fight so far that Top Rank has set up that we can look forward to. Everything else is complete trash. All the champions fighting trash. Every single last one of them. And from the way that Bomac was talking last night on the Boxing Voice, sounds like he might be fighting complete trash next as well. So this is the only saving grace for Top Rank this year. And it's an awesome fight, and I can't wait for it. I honestly can't wait for it. You know what I mean? This fight's gonna be lit. It's gonna be spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And for right now, I'm gonna kind of wait till it gets closer to make a prediction. But I will say that right now, I think I'm leaning towards Teofimo on this. I think he might be able to go out there and do what's necessary to become victorious in this fight. I just think, Loma's been getting hit too much. I think he's been getting hit way too much. Way, way, way too much. And I think that's going to end up being an issue when he fights against this kid. Because this kid only just got to hit you with one punch. And he can put you down. And once he puts you down, either you get up or not, you done. It's a wrap. It's a complete wrap. But like I said, who knows? One thing I hate about judging with these young fighters is that you don't have that data. You don't have that long data. Even like when he had that issues before his championship fight, I said that you can't necessarily judge him on that because he's young. So he's going to go through trials and tribulations. It's going to be different things that he's going to have to, fight through. So you might see something, let's say in this one particular fight, and never see it ever again. You might never see it ever again, or he might be able to make that adjustment. So everybody was thinking that, this Comey fight's going to be tight, it's going to be tight, it's going to be tough, it's going to be tough. Like, it might be tough, but it might not. He might run through that dude, because it might have actually, him having whatever, seeing the therapist and all that stuff might have, helped him with whatever issues that he was having. And maybe he's learned how to deal with those issues, and he clearly did in that fight. He showed us that he clearly had dealt with those issues, whatever was going on in his brain, so it's just when different layers get, thrown at you, what's going to happen? What are you going to do? What adjustments are you going to make? And it's going to be the biggest test of his career, obviously, of his young career. And we're going to see what's up. And Pilatus, I heard someone say that, and it's going to be another case of, he was too young if he loses like Mayweather versus Canelo. No, Canelo was not too goddamn young. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. Number two, Floyd Mayweather was fighting at above his walk-around weight. Floyd Mayweather was 147 pounds 2 months before the fight. Okay? He was, 36 years old or older? He was outweighed by 15 to 20 pounds on fight night. Completely different situation. Lomachenko weighs 140 plus pounds like 2-3 weeks before his bouts. He's a big kid. He's actually a big kid. So there's not that type of situation. And I don't believe in that, he's too young stuff. You got titles, you got belts, you ready to go. Floyd Mayweather won his belt at 21 years old against a top 10 pound for pound fighter. I think Gennaro Hernandez was like number 7 pound for pound at the time. Couple years after that, he's fighting Diego Corrales. He was fighting Angel Manfredi right after Gennaro Hernandez. You know what I mean? So, Mike Tyson, how old was he when he got his belt? One of the youngest champions, probably might still be the youngest heavyweight champion in the history of the sport. How old was he when he was undisputed in the sport? So all that too young stuff, that's for the birds. It was for the birds when Canelo fought Mayweather. It's for the birds now. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Canelo has the same problem with the same type of styles, and so what he does, he doesn't fight them. That's what he does. He doesn't fight them. Even with Danny Jacobs, people don't realize that he only beat Danny Jacobs by 1 round. If Danny Jacobs had pushed the issue with just 1 more round, it would have been a draw. Push harder, just with 1 round, it would have been a draw of a fight. So I'm just glad that it's done. And, come fight night, we'll see what's up. You know what I'm saying? It's a pick 'em. And I love these are the type of fights I live for. The pick 'em fights. So we're going to see what's up when it comes on October 17th. But for now, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.